Okay, so any questions? So what I've shown you here is the complete development workflow, right? So at this point of time, you can say the entire process is complete. Um, and there are certain things and certain principles, right, that I want you to keep in mind. This is what we call a standard development workflow. Okay, so first thing is your remote master or main branch that contains your production code base. Okay, that is so-called your official code base that you release to your customer. Every time you want to develop new things from your official code base, you should create a branch. Okay, so whether you want to implement a new feature, you want to fix a bug, whatever it is, all these new things you want to add on to your existing official code base, you have to do it as a branch. Okay, so all development work, which is new commits, is always performed in branches. You should never create new commits independently in the remote or local main master. Okay, if you do this, you are going to mess up your local master. Your main master will have commits from 10 different developers and you have no idea who was doing what. Okay, the whole idea of having branches is everybody, all the developers are assigned a specific branch. They will work on the commits in that branch, and I can track who is the developer who is assigned to that branch. Okay, that's the whole idea of branches. If you don't use branches and you get everybody to directly commit to the local master, you will get a mess because you have it's very difficult to track which developer was responsible for which commit. You will have to literally trace to the entire history. With a branch, you can already know this branch is assigned to this developer. So all the commits in that branch is created by that developer. Okay, so this is why we always work with branches. So finally, when your development work in a branch is complete, you merge it back into the remote main or master. Okay, so that's it. That is these three principles are basically the entire principle of a standard development workflow. So as long as you follow this thing, everything is going to be okay. All right. So this is how it's going to look like. So you have a main branch, your master branch, you create some new features and then you merge it. Okay. If you follow this principle that I'm outlining here, you will never have a merge conflict because every time you merge the feature branch into the main branch, it will always be a fast forward merge. Okay, now what happens if you try to be a smart ass? If you're a smart ass, you try to allow a developer to directly put commits in a master branch and you allow another developer to put commits separately into a feature branch. Now, if you are a smart ass like that, you allow developers to directly commit to a master branch and you also allow developers to commit to their own feature branch. Now, when you try to merge the feature branch into the master branch, you are going to have a three-way merge. The moment you have a three-way merge, you are going to run into a potential of a merge conflict. Okay, whereas if you do this work, if you follow my recommendation, which is to do all these three things, you will never have a merge conflict because everybody's branch will start from the main branch and they will always merge back into the main branch. Okay, so the main branch, you will never develop it separately on its own. So it will always be a fast forward merge like this. Okay, is that clear? So this is the number one reason why people always have problems with Git is because they simply allow everybody to do anything they want. This is going to happen in your project. You go back now, you go and work with your project team. Developer A will just tell you, go Poda, I do what I want. You do what you want. I don't care. I don't give a shit about what you do. So everybody does whatever they want. And then when it comes to merging the code together, that is when you're going to sit for 6 hours around the Mamak store and figure out what went wrong. Okay, so if you want to avoid sitting around the Mamak store for 6 hours figuring out what went wrong, I strongly suggest you follow this workflow which I've just demonstrated to you. Never ever create new commits independently in a remote or local main master. All your work you should do in a feature branch. When you're complete, you let everybody in the team know that you're ready to merge and then you merge it back into the master. Okay, so now that you have merged it back into the master, okay, then you are ready to take the updates from the remote master and merge it back into your local branch. Okay, so that means now, right now, at this point of time, right, at this point of time, we have a bunch of commits in your master branch which are reflecting of the merge that was successfully performed. So the merge was successfully performed online on the remote repository. Once this is done, every other developer in the team must download the latest version of master to their local repository. Okay, I repeat, once the team leader has approved somebody's pull request and merge that person's branch into the master branch, that means the remote master branch now is completely updated. So now it is the responsibility of everybody else in the team to pull down the latest changes of the remote master to update their local master. Is this clear? Okay, so now everybody in the team is going to say, hey, you know what? Developer A has approved that merge request, so now the merge request is complete. So now it is my responsibility. So everybody in the team, not only developer A, but everybody in the team now, their responsibility is to pull down the latest changes from the new remote master to update their local master. Okay, so to do that, let's do this for developer A first. So let's go back to developer A now. So this is developer A. So in developer A, if I do git checkout master first, and I do git -one line, git log -one line, you will see it's still not updated yet because it only has these two things in it, right? That is perfectly fine because we still haven't updated it with the remote master yet, right? So how do we update it? We again get the latest status. We say git fetch. So we go back here, we type git fetch, press enter, and this will download all the information for us. Okay, so once again, it will come up with this thing here. I'm going to go back here and I will type in my app password here into the box here. Okay, and then I'll go ahead and press enter. That should allow me to download it. Okay. And now that I've done a git fetch, I can type a git status, press enter, and now it will tell me that my local master is behind 4 commits with the remote master. Okay, but the good news is if I merge this, it's a fast forward merge. Okay, so as long as you follow this development workflow, you are never going to have a merge conflict, right? So I will always very strongly recommend you to follow the workflow that I've outlined in this lab manual to prevent any kind of merge conflict. So now you can see here, if we all follow the procedure that once the merge request is completed, the merge of the remote master is completed, everybody must now download the latest changes from the remote master to my local master. If we follow that, we will always have a fast forward merge, which means you will never have a conflict. So let's go ahead and do that right now. And this time we can straight away do that by just doing a git pull. We don't have to do a git fetch. We don't have to do a git merge. Okay, now we can just straight away do a git pull. So straight away do a git pull, press enter, and this will pull down the latest changes. And if it asks you for a password, again, you know what to do. Just type in the password. So again, it's asking me for a password again. So again, I will type in my password, copy this, and go back to here. And then click here, paste this in, press enter, and this will pull it in. And then we can see, hey, it is now updated. And now we can check it out by typing git log -one line. Okay. All right. Okay, so there we go. Now we can see we've got all the latest commits from my remote master. Now they are also in my local master as well. Okay. Now this is developer A, right? Developer A has to update their local master. Developer B also has to update their local master. Why? Because the merging was not done locally. The merging was done remotely, right? If you recall, this merge operation was actually done in the remote repository. So right now, the local master of developer A is out of date. So we have updated the local master in developer A, and we need to do the same thing for developer B as well, because in developer B shell, if we go to the master, okay, and we do a git log -one line, okay, you will see it is still outdated. It is an outdated version, right? It's still outdated, right? Because the merge operation was not done here. It was not done locally. It was done in the remote repository. So we need to do the same operation again, which is to type git pull, press enter. And again, if it asks you for the password, you type in your password. And then hopefully this will finish soon. All right, so it doesn't ask me for a password. That means I've cached my password. So okay, it gets me back everything I want. And then again, I can check it with typing git -log 19. And now we can see my remote master is fully updated. Okay. Okay, now that we have done that, okay, let's say you have a new ongoing thing. Now it's actually 6:13. I think it's probably a good time. I don't think how many of you there, 13 of you left. All right, I think this is probably a good time to kind of end this. Wait, let me see. Okay, never mind. Let's just do two more. We'll do a resolving of a merge conflict. So at least you can see the more complicated situation. Let's say there's a merge conflict. All right, so let's do two more and then we end. Okay, sorry this went on so long, okay, because of that glitch. I did not expect that glitch. Okay, so now let's do the next one, which is merging latest updates from local master into ongoing local branch. Okay, so what is this thing about here? Well, here is the thing is, let's say I am a team member that has just updated my local master with the latest updates from the remote master. Okay, that's cool, that's great. But what happens if I am also working on my own local branch, right? So my own local branch, which is actually originally got from my original local master, it still doesn't have the latest changes that I pulled down from the remote master. Okay, so this is an extra step that you may need to do. All right, so if let's say right now we only have two developers, right? Developer A and developer B. Let's say now you have developer C. So if you have a third developer C now, let's say we have a third developer, so developer C is also a normal developer, right? And developer C is working on their own local feature branch. Okay, so they have their own feature branch, they are developing that, and while they are developing that, developer B has finished their work first. So developer B create a pull request, developer A approve the pull request, so then the changes from that pull request is merged into the remote master. Okay, so once it's merged in the remote master, developer A will pull down the changes from the remote master to your local master. Developer B will also pull down the changes from the remote master to the local master. Developer C will also pull down the changes from the remote master to the local master. But now there's still an extra step for developer C. Why? Is because they still haven't finished their local feature branch yet. So that means now those latest changes that the developer C has pulled down from the remote master, they have to integrate that into their local feature branch. Okay, yes, I know it's getting complicated, but this is kind of a real life scenario, right? Because in a real life scenario, everybody is working on their local feature branch at the same time. So out of 10 developers, every single one of them is working on their own local feature branch. That means that the moment one of the developers finish, let's say the first one to finish his work is developer B, developer B merges their feature branch into the remote master. That remote master now has to be pulled down to the local master of all the other developers. Now it means every other developer, while they are still working on their local feature branch, which is still not complete, their local master has already been updated. Okay, so now it means their local feature branch also needs to be updated with the changes from the local master, which is based on the changes coming down from the remote master. Okay, so this is where it gets kind of a bit more complicated, where you are now going to merge the latest updates from your local master into an ongoing local branch. All right, so the situation now is, let's say developer C and developer B both were working on their local branch. Developer B finished first. Developer B has completed their merge request. Developer B has gone for holiday at Pulau Tioman. Developer C still not finished their work. Developer C has now pulled down the latest changes from the remote master to the local master. And now, before developer C can continue to finish their local feature branch, they need to make sure that they have got the latest changes from developer B. Okay, that means they have to take all the changes from their local master and merge it into to their local feature branch to make sure their local feature branch has got the latest changes that was completed by developer B. Okay, so that is what we are going to do now in step 22. Okay, so let's go back now. Let's pretend now we're going to create another branch. We're pretending now that we are now developer C. Okay, so let's pretend we're developer C now, but we're doing it in the bash shell of developer B. So we go back to developer B's bash shell now, and we now actually say git checkout master to go back here. Now to master, and now I'm going to create another branch here. I'm going to pretend that this is actually a feature branch that has been working on by, say, developer C. Alright, so let's go ahead and do that. So here I'll say git checkout minus B feature slash more slash humans, press enter. So this is, let's say, a new feature branch now. And now inside my developer B's first shared repo, so I go back to developer B, which is my first shared repo for developer B. Let's create now a new file, and we'll call this file humans. Oh no, not in humans.txt. Let me delete this. In my existing humans.txt, let's now put in some new content. So the new content is basically my CEO. So let's pretend this is a new branch now, which is working on humans.txt. And then let's go ahead and commit that branch with this git commit minus am. So we go ahead and commit that with here git commit minus am, added a rich person, press enter. Okay, and then let's add in another line of code here for my humans.txt. We're going to copy this, we'll put it up there into my humans.txt here, project manager. So another change, and again we are going to commit this. So let's go ahead and commit it now by typing git commit minus am added a poor person, press enter. So now we've got that in. Now we can check our commit history by typing git log minus minus one line, press enter. So now we have these two new commits on this new branch. Okay, and if I type git branch minus minus all, this is all the branches I have. So of course I have my feature new cast master branch, plus I have this new branch called more humans. Okay, now before I merge in the changes, I want to push this branch up to my right? I want to push this branch up to my remote repository. So how do I push a completely new branch up to my remote repository? We have seen how to do this. We type in this command here. Okay, so we go ahead and type this command. We say git push minus minus set upstream origin feature slash more humans, press enter. This will push up this latest branch, which is basically my feature more humans. It's going to go up to my remote repository. If you get any password thing, you know how to copy and paste the password in. So now this should be up in my remote repository. If I go back up to my remote repository, I check for my branches, you should now see there is a new branch there, feature more humans, right? Okay, right? So we can go inside here, the feature more humans branch. We can definitely see that the latest commit has got all those things we put into it, right? This is the latest commit. So the latest commit has the developer and the CEO and the project manager, right? That's what we have for the latest commit, right? So we can see that's the latest commit, right? So this is all correct. Now we go back to our B here, and let's just check first to see that we have got a remote branch. So we say git branch minus minus remotes, git branch minus minus remotes, press enter. So yes, we now have a remote branch to track our feature more humans. Okay, and now let's repeat this again for developer A, right? So now let's assume that developer A is also working on their branch now. So let's switch back to developer A now. Okay, so now developer A, let's say developer A is also creating their own branch. It's called feature more animals. So now we go back to developer A's window. This is developer A's window. We go to the master branch, and then we create this particular new branch in my developer A repository. So I say git checkout -b feature more animals. All right. So now we have a new branch in developer A's repository. We also have a new branch in developer B's repository. Okay. So definitely now there are parallel lines of development going on. Now inside developer A's first shared repository, so I go back to developer A. Okay, so developer A, I am going to add something to my animals.txt. So I go back to my animals.txt. Now I have a cat here. I'm going to add a dog. So let's go ahead and add in a dog here. Save this. And then I will go ahead and commit this by saying git commit -am. This is a nice pet. So we go back to here, git commit -am. This is a nice pet. So this is developer A. Let's put in one more line of code to animals.txt for developer A. So this is developer A animals.txt. Put in one more line of code. So now these are 3 lines of code. And now we commit this second commit by saying that is a dangerous one. So this is what we are going to type. So we go back to developer A's window here. We say git commit -am. This is a dangerous one. All right. So now we have 2 new commits. Let's just check this git log --1 line. Press enter. So we can see we've got these 2 new commits here. Okay. And as usual now, this is a totally new branch. If I want to push this totally new branch up to my remote repository, I have to type this command, right? Every time you push a totally new local branch up to your remote repository and you want to create a remote tracking branch for it, this is the command you type. So let's go ahead and type that command now for my remote repository A. So we say git push ---- set -upstream, okay, origin feature /more animals. Okay, so this will now push, okay, this will now push my more animals up to there. Okay, so if you get this thing coming out, which I do, you can just go ahead and copy and paste in the remote password for developer A. So I'll go back here. This is my developer A password. I'll copy this, take this out, I'll paste this in here, press enter, and then it should get pushed up. Okay, so now before we proceed further, let's just see what's actually happening now. Okay, we go back here, we go to my branches, and now at this point of time we have 2 branches, okay, that are currently being worked on. So there's developer A who is working on the more animals branch. Okay, so developer A is working on feature more animals. Okay, this is coming from developer A, right? So we can see this. The feature more animals branch is having commits from developer A. And we also have developer B, which is actually developer B is sorry, not developer. Developer B is Newcast, yeah. Developer B. Hey, how come? This is with where was I? More animals. More animals is developer. Where was I now? Let me go back here. Okay, more animals is developer A, right? So yes, so we can go to. Let me go to commits for developer A. More animals is basically developer A, right? So that is Mark Lerner. Let me just verify that. Yeah, so we can see this is your feature more animals. This is basically your developer A. Developer A is now working on a feature more animals branch, and developer B is working on the, let me see, developer B was working on the on the more humans branch, right? So we look at the more humans branch, we can see developer feature more humans branch is basically developer B. So right now you have two branches, okay? More animals is developer A, more humans is developer B. Both of them are working on these branches separately on their own on their local machines. Okay, so there's a race now, right? Both of them are racing to finish. Let's say who is the first one to finish. Let's say developer B is the first one to finish, right? So developer B is Victor Tan. Victor Tan is the first one to finish. So Victor Tan will now create a pull request to merge their branch, more humans, back into the master branch. So let's go back now. Let's pretend now I'm developer B now. I'm going to go back to my pull request here. Currently there's no pull request, right? So I go ahead, I say create pull request. And now I want to merge my branch, which is my feature more animals branch. I want to merge that into the master. Okay, so let's just put in something very simple because we are going to directly merge this in. We are not going to waste time. So I say discussion on extra humans, okay, or whatever it is. And then we can go ahead and create the pull request. Okay, so let's say now the pull request is created. Okay, and then now developer A is going to approve it. So let's just forget about all the comments. So let's say developer A now directly approves it. So we go back to the developer A now. So developer A has got his pull request. It's checked. Hey, there's a pull request coming in. It's going to check it out. This request was created by developer B, right? So let's go ahead. All right, so there was this comment here, discussion extra humans. So let's say we just go ahead straight away and approve it. Okay, so now we shortcut the process. Don't pretend there are no comments, just straight away approve it. All right, so straight away we get this. So now I'm going to merge this. So we already know how to merge this. We're going to merge the feature more animals branch in the master branch. So click here, we click merge. We have all these things coming out here. Okay, this time we are going to select a fast forward merge strategy. Okay, so with a fast forward merge, you're not going to create a new commit. You're just going to move the pointer upwards. Okay, so to make it a bit easier to understand what's happening next. So we do a merge pull request, feature more animals. This time we're going to use a fast forward merge strategy. Click merge, and now this one will now merge. And then after about 5 seconds, it will complete, hopefully. All right, so it is now merged. Okay, so now that means now your master branch now has been updated with the content of your feature more animals, right? So if we go back to my commits view now, and we go to my master branch, we can see, yes, now the master branch includes all the commits for the what was this, the extra what was this, the extra animals, right? It was all basically added in. Okay, oh wait, hang on, this is my master. What did I merge in? Yeah, what did I merge this into my master branch? Okay, did I just merge that in? Well, the pull request was, what was the pull request I created just now? It's actually to merge in, oh yeah, I was merging my more animals in the master. Actually, technically, I was trying to merge my more humans, but it doesn't matter. Okay, so now it's merged in. So now we can see the commits master and merged in the more animals is actually from developer A, right? So now what we are going to do now is, now I am going to go back to my developer B because I actually merged in from developer A. So let me go back to my developer B now. And so this is my developer B now. And I'm going to switch over to my master for my developer B. Okay. And then I am going to do a fetch now to update my local master for developer B. Okay, this might take some time. It's probably trying to cache my password.